Hello, everyone. Welcome to today, Wisdom Wednesday. All right, on Wisdom Wednesdays, I share tips on how to bake. All right, is it really easy to bake? No, it's not easy to bake, especially when you're dealing with large industrialized conveyorized ovens with multi zones. Which zone do you really manipulate for that texture issue, right? And if you are an industrial baker, you will have textural issues. And I say that because I've had experience in customer complaints when they have crumbly bread, right? So, question to you is, where do you look first when you have texture problems? And the answer is the oven. Always look at the oven first. No, not the mixer, not the proofer, not the makeup, not the formulation. Because if your formulation remains the same, which at that scale, it always does remain about the same. Okay. It has a lot to do with the oven. That's just my experience. So let's take a look at the oven. All right. What in the oven causes textural issues? If you look at the S curve, okay. All right. Let's look at the So we'll go a little bit more into that in tomorrow's live interactive webinar. Okay, why interactive? Because it's not just one-sided. You attend our live streams and you keep the questions coming while we present. I will have Ray Pierce with me tomorrow. He's from ECD, and ECD has agreed to make this session free to all of you by sponsoring it. Okay. So I have to do a quick kudos to ECD2 and Bakewash because they have been big sponsors and supporters of Bakepedia and what we believe in using instrumentation and collecting data during the baking cycle. Okay. So I wanted to share this with you. We're going to go into a little bit more on why this is so tomorrow. Okay, so these are the suggested bakeout zones for the different bread products that are very common in the market. Hamburger bun arrival times about 80% max. Okay, white bread 85% max arrival time. Whole wheat bread 90% max. Multigrain 95% max. Rye bread 80% max, and sourdough bread 90% max. So why are these important? Because if you have arrival earlier than that, okay, you are going to dry out your bread. And the more you dry out the bread, the more crumbly it becomes. And regardless of how much enzymes you use, it's not going to work if you have no more water in the system. So it's something that's not really talked about in a lot of industrial bakeries. What industrial bakers usually do is they just add in more enzymes. Why are you wasting your money when you're not optimizing your bake process? So let's optimize your bake process through thermal profiling. And if you haven't heard of this term before, thermal profiling, you're just going to hear it from me over and over again until you get it. Okay? No industrial bakers out there should ever bake with color and sound and exit temperatures anymore after this seminar, okay? And basically, I'll be showing you how to use it, what to look out for, why is there a spring a stop at 50%, okay, and why, and cases on why you should go high on your arrivals on certain breads, okay? And I will be sharing examples like this, okay? What we baked the bread, this is a typical mole readout, okay? We baked the bread for 23 minutes, okay? And this is one profile, okay? And then we give it a step profile with the same time. And I will share this case scenario with you tomorrow, what we did on bringing down the baking time, okay? So all of those things are going to be addressed at the hour-long session tomorrow. So it's going to be 9 a.m. Pacific time, Oregon time. That's where we are located. And it's going to be live all around the world. Sorry, we have to tune it at midnight somewhere in the middle of Europe, but you know, it's going to be worth it. And if you can't come, you have you're lying down and you need to go attend to your lines, it's all going to be recorded, and the materials are going to be made available in 2 weeks. But you need to sign up for it tomorrow so that you can get alerted when the materials are available, okay? One more exciting news. ECD has agreed to sponsor the thermal profile for texture paper. So that's going to come out at the end of this week. All right, so lots of things happening, lots of education for you right there at your desktop. So sign up today and come to our class tomorrow, okay? See, we have a couple of questions, I guess. One of those, where do you get parchment paper? Coated to bake light dip products. Light dip products. I don't think there is one. I feel like your best bet if you're baking at that high of a scale is to look for coated pans. It might cost a little bit more, but I think there are differently coated pans for the lye application. I don't think parchment papers are going to cut it for you. I mean, you can do it at a small scale, but large scale is going to be hard. Hard. Yeah, no idea, because a lot of industrial bakers just don't use parchment papers anymore, you know? So I'd say reach out to your pan provider. There are a few pan providers in the US, and pretty much ask them for special coated pans for lye products that needs a special coating, okay? All right, so that looks like all the questions I have for today, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow during our interactive session, okay? Have a good one.